Everything was perfect, and then it wasn't. After the season 3 update, I tell you guys, I was shooting lights out. I don't know how many of you guys are shooting really well after the season 3 update. I've noticed that a lot of spot up shooters are shooting real consistent. Talking about 7 for 7, 10 for 10 type of shooting. And when I'm running the point guard position, that's a W for us because I'm actually setting up open shot opportunities. So like I always say, an open shot should have this gigantic green window because the defense broke down, and I believe they should be penalized for that. The question I have for you guys is, how is shooting at the 1 position right now? Over the last 48 hours, I've noticed a change in shooting. There's something weird going on in the background, as if 2K is actively tuning our jump shots or tuning our green windows when there really is no reason to tune them. Since the season 3 update, I've gone up about 20% in my shooting percentage. Still not exactly where I want to be at, but I was suffering on the season 2 update, so my shooting percentage just plummeted, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably experienced the same thing. First off, let's just put this so that we have it documented. How much has your shooting percentage gone up since the season 3 update? I imagine a lot of you guys have a very similar experience to what I've had, with an increase of about 20%. But I feel like that's where things start getting really complicated. That's when Mike Wang steps in and starts playing God over shooting, and your green window starts to get tuned. The main issue I have with this is that we have no indicator outside of missing your shots or bricking your shots. We have no indicator to let us know, hey, your green window is getting tuned right now. I wish there was a little icon or something that was lit up to kind of inform players, hey, your green window is going to be different than what you're normally used to. The clips you guys are seeing in the background is my most recent gameplay. With each passing day, I'm getting better and better at creating open shots. But I can't help but feel the more I create an open shot, the more difficult it is to knock down those shots consistently. It makes me feel like it's just a backwards system, like I'm in the upside down. I'm actually getting better at creating that open shot, but then hitting the open shot becomes way more difficult solely because Mike Wang wants to keep shooting percentages at a certain level. Now, I'm not complaining per se, because shooting on the season 3 update versus the season 2 update is an absolutely night and day experience. What I'm actually complaining about is I feel like my progression as a player is being capped. Surely I wouldn't have any problem with this if we had more information as to what the hell is tuning your green window. If we had more information, I would be able to naturally adapt. But over the last 48 hours, I feel like I'm guessing whether or not my shot is gonna go in. And it's really an unsettling feeling. Again, you spot up shooters probably haven't made in the shade. You're probably not even concerned anymore about shooting. And because I'm fairly new to the point guard position, I probably still got some things I need to adapt to. So if you guys have any ideas on how to adapt to these shooting changes, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm gonna share some of the things that I'm noticing out there. I have become so accustomed to creating a crab animation and getting an open shot that even when there's not a defender in the vicinity, I'm still going into the crab animation because I can shoot way smoother out of that animation as opposed to just walking up, stopping, and taking the shot. And I had this conversation with one of the members of our Discord. He asked, why do you still perform the crab animation when there's no defender there or the defender's already behind you? Why not just stop and pop? Well, that's because from my experience, I've noticed that when you just stop and go to take the shot, you get these random shot animations, which seems like a real broken mechanic. We're literally just talking about probably one of the easiest shots you can take. Walk up, stop, take the shot. But from my experience, you never know if you're gonna get a smooth pull up, if it's gonna be a slow winded pull up, or even a speed up for that matter. And we're not talking about a dribble pull up. I mean just actually stopping, full stop, taking your shot. You never know if you're gonna pull up fast, pull up slow. Oftentimes you'll get a hitch out of nowhere, but if you perform, the crab animation is always one smooth motion into a shot with the same speed. Now that's been my personal experience with just walking up and taking the shot. I'm curious to know your experience for walking up and taking a shot without a dribble pull up. We're not talking about walking up into a moving shot. We're talking about walking up, stopping, and taking your jump shot. I can't help but feel like Mike Wang. He's walking up beside me, putting his hand on my shoulder and saying, good luck with that shot, Brody, not today. It honestly feels like some of these shots are out of my control. And I'm sure a lot of players feel like that, so it's easy to kind of just brush this off and say, man, it's just user error. And I believe it very well could possibly be user error. Sometimes I'm a little too exhausted to continue playing. There's one other thing that I noticed that I actually would like to mention. I feel like I noticed the tuning of my green window the the more hours that I stay on throughout the day. For instance, in the beginning of my 2K day, I feel like I'm shooting smooth, everything is responsive, but more towards the end of the day, after a few hours of gameplay, those same shots that I was knocking down seem to be out of alignment with my cue. It could be just getting 2K exhausted, 2K wasted out there, without realizing maybe I am just mistiming my shots. Could be a possibility. I'm not taking that off the table just yet. But that's exactly why I'm making videos like this, because if you guys are having the same experience, then maybe we could kind of seek out alternatives for adjusting and adapting to 2K shooting as a point guard. If you're a spot-up shooter and you're experiencing these type of things, share your thoughts in the comment section. From what I've noticed, our spot-up shooters are shooting way more consistent, and it's a blessing. I love to see it. It makes the game way more enjoyable. Another thing that I've noticed with shooting is that 2K is having a hell of a lot of trouble with defining what's considered a contest. Yesterday I took a shot and the man was completely on the side of me, did not put his hands up. I killed him with a crab animation, moved him over to the side of me, and it was a good distance away, and 2K gave him a 30-something contest, but the contest wasn't the problem. The change in my jump shot animation is what was actually the problem. As per 2K, they were supposed to eliminate speed ups and slowdowns depending on defender proximity. From what I'm noticing is more random than ever whether or not you're gonna get a speed up or a slow down shot. And I got an example of like when I perform a crab animation putting my defender behind me, but there's a center in front of me. Oftentimes we have AI centers. If it's a real player, my shot speed is normal shot speed on a crab animation. But if it's an AI player, an AI defender center that's in front of me, after I crab my defender and put him behind me, I have to shoot my shot tremendously fast. So it's almost like the defender proximity speed ups still apply when you're facing an AI. That's one thing that I noticed. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. If you have, please sound off in the comment section below. Now I want to keep it a buck with y'all. I like the place that shooting is in right now. I feel like I could actually learn to adapt to this type of shooting. For the most part, gone are the days where you're shooting 3 for 13, just struggling out there. For me, it happens every so often, but I'm new to this point guard stuff, so I get it. Playing against different teams, I get different experiences because they're different levels of defense. And for the most part, if I'm open, I'm happy with the results. I oftentimes hit if I'm open. Prior to the season 3 update, I think 2K, they just forgot that the strategy in basketball is actually creating the open shot. The strategy for a basketball video game is not about knocking down that open shot. And if it was about knocking down that open shot, then I would imagine they would have to go into a whole animation scene where you're going into first person view and really honing in on mechanics that allow you to kind of aim and decide how much strength you're going to apply to a particular shot. All sorts of things like velocity and stuff come into play, the spin on the ball. I remember when I was younger, I'd lay flat in bed and just kind of take my shot with the ball, just practicing the spin on my release, letting the ball just kind of roll off your fingers. I also remember just going out real early, sitting under the rim and layup after layup after layup after layup without letting the ball touch the ground. Lay it up, catch it, bring it back, lay it up, catch it, bring it back. In 2K, we don't have these type of mechanics. And trust and believe, I'm not saying that we should have those type of mechanics, but what I'm saying is that that's why there shouldn't be so much strategy based behind the actual shot. The strategy comes beforehand. The amount of attributes that you put on your player should be the determining factor on whether that shot goes in or not. I believe you should have to time your shot correctly. You can't just press the button and expect it to go in. Hopefully for the good majority of players out there, you understand what I'm referencing here. Folks that are familiar with 2K should be able to knock down wide open or open shots. There's one other factor that I would like to talk about that I've noticed as well, because as of late, we've been running with a lot of new players. And if you guys would like to run with us, I suggest you join our Discord. The link for Discord will be in the description below. Everyone is welcome to try out for the AllCity Lunatics. We normally host tryouts on the weekends at 3 p.m. As a point guard, I need a center who understands how to properly use the pick and roll. And I've noticed that the experience, especially for me being new at the PG position, could prove difficult for a center who doesn't really understand my particular set of dribble animations. It might be more difficult for him to set the screen, making it more difficult difficult for me to create an open shot, which then in turn leads to me performing more dribble animations, and in turn drains my stamina. Draining my stamina then leads to a change in my shot speed. Running the one position, there's so much to factor in, but these are some of the things that I've noticed and I thought I'd just share with you guys. And as I learn more things at the point guard position, I intend to make videos and share all my experiences along the way. We will be going live in just a little while to talk some more about this stuff, break down some of the animations that I use to get open, and hopefully help you guys become better players on 2K24. I'm hoping you guys could tune in. Y'all be sure to keep it locked. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join our Discord. We'd love to have you. The link for Discord will be in the description below. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV, because we got a bunch more NBA 2K24 news, information, and updates coming your way. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.